Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adele, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it.
Hey guys, so yesterday I was talking in my stories all about negotiating and money and why people think they're not getting paid as much as they want, and so many of you answered my polls, reached out, sent me DMs, and I was going to talk about it in my stories, and I'm still going to share a little bit in my stories, but I just thought it made sense to go live because it was just going to be too long for my stories. So money talks. Let's talk all about money. Like, today is a money talks. Let's chat about it. So the thing that came up, one of the first things that came up was obviously fear of negotiation. People scared of negotiating, and that's so common. Like, it's so normal to be worried about negotiating, but most people that are scared of negotiating are also scared of confrontation. And it's actually your fear of confrontation, not your fear of negotiation, that creates that inside of you. So anyone who says like, oh, I hate negotiation, are you also a person who doesn't like confrontation? Because the feeling you get when you negotiate is often the same feeling you get when you have to, confront someone about something you don't like or go back and forth with someone. I'm someone who hates the back and forth. Like, I don't really want to have to negotiate. I want to tell you why I'm good, and then I want you to just agree and then offer me the money. But you have to be willing to have that confrontation. You have to be willing to have that negotiation if you want to get what you want. Because the truth is, negotiation is just two people having a conversation so that they can both come to a mutual agreement that makes them both happy. You don't even have to call it negotiation. Like I say to my clients sometimes, why have we got to say negotiation? You're just telling someone how good you are at what you do, how you can help them, and they're deciding if what you can do for them is worth what you're asking for. Nothing more than that. If you want to go and buy a Gucci bag, you don't go in and negotiate. That's the price. Gucci said it's the price. There's thousands of people out here that will be like, it's too expensive. I don't want to spend that much money on something. Gucci don't care. They're not negotiating with you. But when we go into a negotiation situation, we are saying to someone's saying to us, right, tell me about what you can do for me. And then you're saying, this is what I can do, and this is how much it costs. So can you meet me there? And if they say no, the art of negotiating is just saying, okay, why? What were you thinking of? Okay, well, that doesn't work for me, it's too low. Can we come to a mutual agreement? Or start negotiating other stuff. Like, is it just the money that you want when you're negotiating? Or, for instance, someone offered me a 100k a year job and only gave me 20 days holiday a year. Or I could take 90k a year and they'd give me 50 days holiday a year. I would actually take the 90k. And that might surprise some people, because you lot know, like, I'm all about getting every penny you can and put money in your pocket, but 50 days annual leave sounds amazing to me. That 10k a year, because remember, the difference between 90k and 100k is only £10,000, and actually that £10,000 is then split across 12 months. So that 10k, I'm going to lose it in taxes anyway. It's not a big deal. But the 50 days holiday, that means something. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because when we talk about money, when we talk about negotiating, knowing what you want is really important, because it makes negotiating easier. Asking for what you want and getting it starts off with knowing what you want. So I'm going to touch on that in a minute, but I just want to stay on this fear of negotiation for a minute. Fear of confrontation. A question I will ask all my clients, and I'll ask anyone watching this, is why don't you think you deserve it? And all of you are like, what? No, I definitely deserve the money I want. What? I definitely deserve. Do you? If you're scared of negotiating, which is fine because you're scared of confrontation, but if you're scared to ask for what you want and then back up your ask, because that's what negotiating is. You're asking, if I say to someone I want £70,000 a year, I'm backing it up with what I know I'm good at, what they're going to be getting from me. That's why I want that money. So what in you doesn't feel like you deserve that money? What in you doesn't feel strong enough to back up what you're asking for? So when I say, why don't you think you deserve it? I'm not saying, we all think we deserve money, but why don't you think you deserve the amount that you're asking for, enough that you will make yourself, even if it's awkward for 10 minutes, you might make yourself feel awkward for 10 minutes because you've got to negotiate. It's like when you have a confrontation, sometimes like you're awkward for that 10 minutes, but then when you resolve it, it feels so much better. So if you have to be awkward for 10 minutes to get the pay you want that could change your entire life, why is that not a thing? If that doesn't feel comfortable, or it doesn't feel like, oh, it's at least worth it, then something in you doesn't think you deserve it. And I can explain that because I remember when I didn't know, I was like, obviously I deserve my money, but why wasn't I asking for it? Why did I stay in a job when my boss was like, nah, I can't give you that, it's not in the budget? Why did I ever stay in jobs like that? But the reason was, I grew up not having much. So for me, it wasn't I didn't think I deserved it, but what I thought I deserved was enough to pay the bills. I would always be like, well, at least I can pay my bills. At least I got enough to pay the bills. At least I got enough for this. At least. That was the problem. I thought all I deserved was at least. I deserve way more than at least. If that resonates with you and you're someone that's like, well, at least I can pay my bills, you deserve more than at least. I deserve to be able to pay my bills, go on holiday, take spa trips, put money down for my daughter, invest, pay my mum's bills, help her with those, and give to charity. I don't deserve just to at least have enough. As long as I stayed in that at least thought, as long as I didn't work on that, I kept getting at least enough to pay my bills. So sometimes when I say, why don't you think you deserve it? It's deeper than you think. And until you work on why you're not saying you deserve more, you won't be able to change it. You'll keep staying in jobs where the boss says it's not in the budget. It's always in the budget, guys. There's always a way to negotiate around that budget. You'll keep being worried about negotiation because you're not in the right headspace. You haven't yet decided that you deserve it. You haven't yet decided that your skills or your strengths or what you're able to do to help someone else is worth what you actually want. So when you say the fear of negotiating, that awkward feeling you get is the same feeling you get when you like confront someone, when you have to have an awkward conversation. But aren't you worth that awkward conversation? And if you're not, why not? And that's where you need to dig a little bit deeper. I said about before you negotiate, you need to know what you want. You have to define your success. I am all about getting every penny possible into every woman's pocket because we deserve it. But define your success. Why do you want that money? A lot of people will be like, oh, so I can get a big house and I can get nice cars and I can travel. Is that your dream or just what society tells you you want? Like, I've never wanted a really big house. This is a conversation me and my daughter have all the time, and I have with other people. And when I said I want a big house, I love big rooms. Like, I've got a huge kitchen. If I could turn this around now and you guys could see, everyone who comes to my house is like, oh my God, your kitchen's huge. Love my huge kitchen. Love that all my rooms are huge. But I live in a flat. An apartment, for those listening from the US. It's a really big flat, but it's still a flat. I like everything on one floor. I also like bungalows, which a lot of people don't like, but bungalows are awesome because everything's on one floor. You can get them as big as you want, but that's what I like. I've never wanted a big house. Big houses intimidate me. Like, there's so much to look after. Like, upstairs, downstairs, I'm just not used to it. I do like townhouses, like 3 floors, but I don't know if I want a townhouse. And my mum's always wanted a big house, like my mum's house, like she's always wanted a big house. Like, my daughter's always like, oh my gosh, I would love to have a house, like an upstairs, downstairs. And I'm just like, why? We can just keep getting bigger and bigger flats. Like, we can get a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom flat. Just get bigger and bigger flats. But they've got to have the big rooms because I do like big rooms. And people are like to me, but why? Why wouldn't you want a house? Because that's not what I want. I've defined what success looks like to me. I didn't grow up, and I think maybe it's because I didn't grow up in a really big house. Maybe that's why I don't have that. I also don't like gardening. I don't want to look after a garden. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Looking after a garden, I can't think of anything worse. I like rooftops. I like views. I like being high up. Like, if anyone's ever travelled into London and seen there's apartments in Vauxhall that looks over the water, absolutely adore those apartments. Like, that's what I like, but I just like what I like. And I define success for myself. I also like an insane amount of annual leave. So if I get a job and I can get loads of annual leave, like loads of holiday, that job will appeal to me. But I've defined what my success is and what I want. And when you define your success, it makes it easier for you to ask for the money you want. Because once you define your success, once you say this is all the things I want, then you know what that money's for. You've given the money a purpose. Trust me, taking action when you have a purpose, your why, as a lot of people say, when you've got purpose behind that money, you're gonna work to get that money. It's like what I said earlier, when I used to say like, at least I have enough to pay my bills. No, it's not about at least. I deserve more than at least. You should be like, I want enough too, and then you should know what your success is. What is success to you? Define your success. If you've defined your success, then it will make it easy for you to go after the money you want. And then what do you want? Is it just the money? Like when we talk about 9 to 5s, is it just the money you want? Or is it, like a lot of my clients when I speak to them, they actually want to work less hours. It's not always just about the money. So when you're negotiating, if you negotiate and you can't get all the money you want, could you negotiate something else? Could you negotiate less hours? Could you negotiate hybrid working? Like I know some companies are not letting everyone work from home, so could you negotiate that? Could you say to them that as you're not able to meet my salary expectations, is there anything else within the benefits package that we can talk about? I was looking at the annual leave and I was hoping that I could get more days off. Or I was looking at the package that you're offering, and although the annual leave looks good, I would prefer more annual leave, and that would help me consider whether or not this salary works for me. There are so many other things that you can negotiate, but first, do you even know what you want to negotiate? Have you defined your success? What does success look like to you? Is success the big house for you? Or is it like me, the big apartment? Because that's what I like. What is your success, and what is it going to take for you to get that financially? Have you defined your success? Do you know what you even want? Is it actually money? Or is it that you want to work less? I literally work part-time and earn full-time money, but I defined that before I even got there. I knew I wanted it, so I went out and looked for it. And I'm willing to negotiate because I know that's what I want. That's what makes me happy. So are you even negotiating for things that make you happy, or are you negotiating for things that make you feel good in society? Because that will always make negotiating or even asking for the money you want harder. I had a few women reach out to me that have businesses, and they even said to me, I'm scared to put my prices up because what if people don't want to work with me? Again, is what you're doing worth it, and why don't you think you deserve it? Prada and Gucci are putting down their prices no matter how much we say it's too expensive, no matter how much there's people out here. Like, I like Cartier. Cartier bracelets are beautiful. They're not putting down their bracelets if I suddenly say, you know what, $5,000 is too much for one bracelet. They'll say, okay, that's nice. There's like 500 other people over there that's going to pay $5,000, so bye. That's how it is in life. Like, if you don't think you deserve it, then why would anyone else think you deserve it? If you're not willing to negotiate and get the money you want, or at least ask for the money you want, why would anyone give it to you? You can't expect more from someone else than you're willing to do for yourself. So that's really important as well. The other thing is your confidence leaks. Like, have you looked at your confidence? We spoke about confidence yesterday, so I'm not even going to go really deep into it. And if you want more on confidence, go and take a look at yesterday's live. But your confidence leaks. Like, have you checked up to see, like, plug those holes? Because there will be gaps in your confidence why you're not asking for the money you want. Again, do you believe you deserve it? Yes. So when your boss said it wasn't in the budget, why didn't you push? If you asked a second and a third time and you still didn't get it, did you ask why? What do I need to do to be able to get it? And if you then did those things and still didn't get it, why are you still at the job? If your boss won't give you what you want and you stay, and you keep working really hard for them and keep doing, but you stay in that, something in you feels like you don't deserve more, because you could just go somewhere else and get more. You can make as many excuses as you want to stay there, but you could just go somewhere else and get more. There's something in you, there's a confidence leak, you're lacking something. Something as small as people saying to me sometimes, I'll say to them, right, this new job that you're interested in, they will need someone who's done this. Have you done those things? They'll say to me, yeah, but I've only done it like maybe 1 or 2 times. That's a confidence leak. I didn't ask you if you did it 1 or 2 times. I said, have you done it? Why don't you say, yeah, I've done it? Because if you've done it once, you can do it twice. If you've done it twice, you can do it 3 times. If you've done it 3 times, you can do it 4 times. If you've done it 4 times, you can do it 100 times. So why is your default, but I've only done it? Why is it not? Yeah, I've done that. I've done it 1 time and this is what I did in it and this was the result. Why is that not the response? It's small, subtle things that sometimes when I talk to people, I pick up on the leaks that they don't even know they had. One of my clients said to me this year, she actually said to me, I'm so blind to the things that you seem to be saying so easily, and as soon as you say it, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, that's true. Because we do things so often, we don't even pay attention to the fact that these little shifts, these little things that are going on, that in our subconscious are telling us, you're not good enough. Maybe my boss is only paying me this much because my skills aren't worth more than that. When I help someone get a 22, 30k pay rise, 21k, 19k, so many different types of pay rises, it has nothing to do with their skills getting better. I sometimes work with people for 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks, Not much changes in those 8 weeks, apart from the strategy they're using and the confidence. Because now they're owning everything they can do, they're worried less about what they can't do, and they're like, I deserve that money. So they're doing the same jobs, sometimes at the same company, sometimes at new companies, for like 20k more. So you was always worth the money, you was always worth the extra money, but something in you didn't feel like you necessarily deserved it, so you didn't necessarily go after it. One of the question stickers yesterday said fear of failure, and that one is a big one. A lot of people have a fear of failure. A lot of people are worried that, well, if I go and ask for the money and they say no, like, then that's a failure. But is it? Is it a failure? And when my clients talk to me about their fears, the first thing I say is, okay, cool, let's go to the fear. Because I'm someone who can catastrophize. Sometimes I go to the worst case scenario and then I have to work backwards. The difference is I can work backwards really quickly now. I never used to. But now I definitely can coach myself backwards and I'm like, okay, calm down, get off the ledge, like, get back inside. When you think of failing, so if you ask for the money and they say no, what happens? You're on the same money you was on before, but you might feel a bit embarrassed because you didn't get what you want, okay? You're not gonna feel embarrassed forever. What else? What are you scared of failing? What is that fear? What is the real fear? Because you're scared to ask for the money, or you're scared to try and negotiate in case they say no. Okay, but what if they do say no? Does your world end? What really happens in the worst case scenario? Because the truth is your brain catastrophizes. You're not gonna lose your job because you ask for more money. Like that's not gonna happen. So basically tomorrow morning you'll be doing the same job for the same money. So nothing has changed. If they say no, nothing has actually changed. So lean into the fear. What is it you're scared of? Are you scared about going for a new job that they pay more and maybe you go for an interview and you don't get the job? Okay, but again, nothing changes. You continue to do the job you're doing and you continue to get paid what you're doing. But if it goes well, everything changes. Are you fearing that you're not good enough for the money? Now that's a whole nother conversation, and that's the confidence leaks I'm talking about. Are we really scared that we're gonna fail and not get the money we want? Are we scared that maybe we're not good enough? Maybe we think we're good enough, but deep down, maybe we're not good enough, and that's why we're not getting paid as much as we want. I'm here to tell you that that's not the case at all. It's nothing to do with being good enough or not. Like I said, I'm helping people get insane pay rises without getting anything more skills, no more qualifications, just repackaging what they already have and actually being motivated and confident in what they have so that when they go out and talk about it, it's easy. You deserve what you're asking for. Just to go back to the I deserve, if you was in a relationship or you had a friend in a relationship and they were being treated really badly, they'd leave, right? If you're asking for your job and you're not getting what you want and what you need from it, why are you still there? Something in you feels like you don't deserve it. Something in you feels like you can't do better. And that's what you need to address. Once you address that, your whole life changes. I know from experience. Once you address the deeper stuff, like why did I think that it was just okay to just be able to pay my bills? For years, that was enough. At least I can pay all my bills. All my bills are paid. I never have to worry about my bills. That's not living, that's not life. I'm not going to work every day, working my butt off, getting better and better and better at what I do so that my company can make a crap load of money and I can just pay my bills. It doesn't even make sense. It actually doesn't make sense. And last but not least, this is probably the most important thing when it comes to money, the I've got this factor. And that's something I talk about my clients with, like the I've got this factor. You will start getting paid the money you want when you have that. And what that basically is when you are confident about what skills you have, how they work for you, how they help other people, and other people meaning the career you've chosen. Knowing how what you do helps people, specifically helps people. I know that I can help people get a new job and get money. That's easy. But what that money that I help people get as a coach changes lives. Like they're buying homes, they're investing, they're no longer stressed about money. Like it really changes things for people. Some people have been able to leave their 9 to 5 and start full-time entrepreneurship. So when I'm helping people, there is a reason. I know what I use to help them get, and I'm like, I've got this. So if someone comes to me and they're like, I want to change industry and get, I'm like, I've got this. They feel that energy from me. When you show up and ask for a certain amount of money, if you don't have that, I've got this energy, and that comes from confidence. If you don't have that, no one else believes it. You are a reflection of what you're putting out in the world. If you're going to interviews and you don't believe in what you're asking for, then you're not getting it. If you're showing up in front of your boss and you're saying, right, I think I deserve this money because I've been here for years, that's not confidence. You're saying because of your years of experience, that's why you should get the job. Now listen, if you've been doing the job for 5 years, sometimes that gives you a confidence because you're like, I've been doing this for 5 years, I've got this. That's the I got this factor. But you can get that without having the experience. So many women I know without experience have changed industry because they figured out how to tap into that. I got this. You know how sometimes once you've mastered something, like if someone said to me, like drive, I don't know, go drive and pick up, I'm not thinking like, oh my God, I'm scared to drive. I've been driving for years. I got this. The confidence when I talk about driving is next level because it's easy. It's next level. When you think about your job that you've maybe been in for 5-10 years, you're probably like, I got this. Like if someone asks you to do something, it's so simple to you, it's not even a big deal. That's what I got this is, because when you talk about those things, you're so confident, it's like, it's a no-brainer. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Are you in that place, the I got this? Is it just your experience that makes you feel like, oh yeah, well when someone asks me about it, I've been doing it for 5-6 years, so yeah, of course I know how to do it. So that's what makes you confident. Do you know how to tap into that when it's something that you don't know how to do? Do you know how to show off, even when you've not done it before? Because you can tap into what you have done, and you're so confident in what you have done and how that can transfer to something else that you know how to speak about it. The I got this factor is such a big deal in any negotiation strategy. Knowing what you bring to the table and why you deserve that money, when you have that, like, your shoulders, you put your shoulders back, your heads up, and you're ready because you've got this. It's easy, it's nothing. Asking for that extra 10K, nothing. You've got this because you know why you deserve it. So, for everyone listening, just to recap, your fear of negotiation is usually similar to fear of confrontation, and my only question is, why don't you deserve more? Why do you feel like you don't deserve more? Have you defined your success? We talk about money all the time, but have you defined success? How much money do you want? What life are you trying to build for yourself? Like I said, I used to just want to be able to pay bills. Last week, and I never really share stuff like this, but last week I was able to, I spent like £1,000 on investing in something. That's not someone who can just pay her bills, because that's not what I want anymore. But it took a long time for me to realise that that's where my head was always at. And the reason why I would put up with people saying to me it's not in the budget was because of that. You can negotiate any budget. It's no such thing as it's not in the budget. I have templates, I have emails, I have conversational talks that me and my clients put together that are personalised to them, because not in the budget is not a thing. Do you know how much it costs your company to hire someone new, to advertise, to hire someone, to train someone, and they're not good? It's easy to just give you a little bit extra money. It's so much easier. So not in the budget isn't a thing. It's the thing that your boss says to just get rid of you, because you didn't show up with the I got this factor. You didn't show up with the I deserve every penny. When you believe it, they believe it. It's connection. Confidence leaks. Have you looked at your confidence leaks? We spoke about it. Remember to check it. Check it at the door. See what your confidence leaks are. And fear of failure. Go to the worst case scenario. What are you actually scared of? What happens if you ask for the money? What happens if you try and negotiate? You got some practice in. If they say no, at least you got some practice in. But what are you actually scared of? Are you scared of failing? Or are you scared of exposing the bits that are in you that aren't that confident? Are you scared of exposing those parts of you? So I hope you guys have got something from this. You know I love talking about money. I love getting money in everyone's pockets. If you want me to do another live about exactly how to negotiate and exactly how to get the money you want in your 9 to 5, let me know. If you want me to talk about how to do that in your business, how to make your side hustle more profitable, let me know. Money shouldn't be a thing as women that we're scared to talk about and we're scared to get. The more we have these type of conversations, the more money we can get in our pockets and in our bank accounts. So talk about money, think about money, and have an idea on why you're not where you want to be. There is always a reason why you're not earning the amount you want to be earning. And it is not your skills and your education. It doesn't come down to that. I'm in an industry, and I have been for the last 15 years. I'm showing my age now. And I have been managing teams, and I do not have a degree in that industry, and I didn't have experience when I first started. So if you're not earning the money you want, I promise you, it's not to do with your qualifications and experience. Unless you're trying to be a doctor or a lawyer, because yeah, then you have to have qualification and experience. But if you're using that as a reason why, honestly, it's not. It isn't the reason why. Everything we just talked about today is the reason why. I hope some of the tips and advice I've given you guys have helped. I will be saving this on my page. But yeah, it's been fun, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you've enjoyed today's episode, share it on your social media so someone else might be able to benefit from it too. Don't forget to tag me in it if you do. You can find out more about my career coaching and my masterclasses over on my website. It's ateinrich.com. If you're ready for a career change, that is the place to start. I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials.
tag me on Instagram and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening and see you next time.